Hello, friends.
Hey.
It's the Cinemondo podcast. This is a second trailer, I think, for this movie Wildwood,
We
right?
did a teaser.
Yeah,
And
a
now
teaser.
it gave us a little taste, and now this is the full-length trailer, supposed to give us lots more information.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's Laika Studios. They're up in Portland or outside of Portland.
Yeah.
And they've done Coraline. It was like their really big movie, but
Right.
the Box Trolls and a few others. And it's real stop motion. And this
Yes.
movie,
I love that.
it's in at like almost 2.5 hours of stop
Yeah.
motion.
God.
That's
That's
how much
insane.
time and effort to do that. It's
How long did it take to make this
mind-boggling.
movie? Like,
Years,
Well, I
for
always-
sure.
I always say that this studio is kind of represents what my dream job would be, because I always,
Yeah.
when I first started, I worked in shops that made actual miniatures and practical effects and things. And I worked on a show that actually had stop motion. It was the last television show, I think, that had actual stop motion as the primary special effect, and it was the 90s version of Land of the Lost, if anybody
Ooh.
cares
Right,
to
the
remember
Kyoto
that.
Brothers.
Yes, Kyoto Brothers. And actually got to meet Ray Harryhausen in that building where they were shooting it, because he came by to sort of, put his blessings upon the stage.
It was stop
And,
motion.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good blessing to get.
Yeah, that's
you
pretty
know?
good.
Yeah, and it was really
Pretty
cool.
good.
I met him, and he looked at drawings that I did, but the idea of stop motion, I think people maybe these days don't realize what the difference is between different kinds of animation. It's like every kind of animation involves movement between frames, but with computer generated stuff, you put what they call keyframes, and you put a keyframe here and you put a keyframe here, and the computer figures out what movement. Like if you have somebody throwing a baseball, they're going like that. You put a keyframe here and a keyframe there, and the computer goes ahead and animates all these in between frames. But in stop motion, you have an actual toy thing. You have a little guy like this, and you animate them by clicking an actual camera frame, and then you go over to the table and you move it a little bit, and you click, you move it, you click. It's really painstaking.
Yeah.
And you really have to have crazy respect for folks like Ray Harryhausen, who did so many movies using this technique. Not an entire 2-hour film of it, but he would do sequences in
Right.
films like Golden Voyage of Sinbad and Jason and the Argonauts, where there would be like 6 or so
Multiple.
scenes that were just mind-boggling.
Yes.
They were so
Yeah.
cool and
That's
beautiful.
great.
But the main thing about it is the artistry of the designs and the artistry of something that Ray Harryhausen had. And then I'll shut up, I swear. But something that Ray Harryhausen had that is so important for all animation is he had an idea of the essence of acting and dynamics. And when his monsters appeared on the screen, you can see the difference between bad stop motion and good stop motion. Bad stop motion, basically these things come in and they do their thing and then they go out. But Ray Harryhausen put life into them. And to me, that's where the magic comes from. His creatures had an inner life. They seem to have a living quality to them. And I think that says a lot about Ray's ability to impart that life into these little characters with frame by frame animation, which means that he understood acting and dynamics and timing and weight and physics and movement. And that's the thing that's so good about this Laika studio and what I've seen of this film is they've sort of, and this entire film is stop motion animation, the entire thing.
Yeah.
So
I went to the Academy Museum a few years ago, and they had on the Two Strings, which was another one of their films, and they had a whole setup, and not only just how intricate it is to move this, every frame, but just the detail in the sets.
Yes.
These are complete, if you're into modeling, just looking at a model on a table, this is your dream. It's an experience to see. So anyway, their movies aren't really they're for kids, but they're a little darker. Like Coraline is actually a pretty dark film with dark themes. And I think this one also has that in it. It's about a story. It takes place outside of Portland, their hometown. in a wilderness, and Wildwood is like, I think a child has to go in and try to find her brother who's missing. I think that's the story.
I hope they
Yeah.
add Jimothy to this. I mean, you can't really have a movie without Jimothy in it if it's set in Seattle. It's essential that Jimothy is part of everything now. So I would love if they could take 1 second to add a little Jimothy in the background or something. That would
Well,
be
he's
awesome.
a Seattle guy though, and this is Portland.
I know, but it's still in the same state. Just saying.
Close.
Somewhere other than Los
And film
Angeles.
opens
No,
October
somewhere besides
23rd,
Hollywood.
so in time for Halloween.
I know,
Yeah.
sure. Well, this is pretty impressive because it also has some great voice talent. We have
Yes.
Carey Mulligan, Mahershala. How do you say his name?
Mahershala.
Mahershala Ali, Angela Bassett, Jacob Tremblay, Awkwafina, Charlie Day, Richard E. Grant. I mean, these are super fun actors. So
Yes.
we won't see them, but we will hear them.
Yes.
I would see that. But I'm very excited to see this. I wanted to see more. Like I'm not a huge animation person, but when I saw this teaser, I was like, holy crap, this looks good. So now I'm really excited to see this full length one.
I'm a huge animation person, and
Yes.
I don't sort of discriminate. I love CGI just, almost as much as I love stop motion. Stop motion has always got a place in my heart, but I don't
more legit, like more authentic. It's kind of like the difference between like the Odyssey and Avengers. Like,
yeah.
there's the CGI just as entertaining, but then there's something about the authenticity of the human factor that goes into this.
There's something
like-
about the art of it,
Yes.
There's something if a human did it, if a human made the decisions and put a human experience and human feelings into it,
Yeah.
then you can sense it. You can feel the presence of a person in there that created this art, and that's the thing with certain kinds of stop motion. I think it takes so much to be able to put that human element into something where you're doing it in increments, like frame by frame increments. You have to think in those terms. You have to kind of consolidate all those frames into one movement, like one head turn or whatever, and you have to get it right. Like, how does a person turn their head? How do they slow down as they don't just mechanically turn their heads, they move and they flow, and that's so difficult.
Let's see if
Anyway.
they pull it off. Let's see
Yeah.
if they make it work. It might happen. It just might be good.
I
Let's
get
check it
sort of
out.
excited about animation.
Me too. That's gonna be so cool. I think this project looks great. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
agreed.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what the full length trailer looks like. Ah,
All right, let's
All right.
hold the work and
They told me what happened to you. To your son. Is it true?
Feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beat.
Oh, God. Ugh, chills.
Wish that I could stay forever this young.
This looks sad.
Not afraid to close my eyes.
Mm.
Life's a game made for
I'm good.
everyone.
Mm.
And love is the prize.
The woods have become a savage place.
They took my brother. Please, I
Whoa,
need
that's
your
good.
help.
So wake me up when it's all over. When I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself, and I didn't know I was loved.
I promised I'd take care of him.
I will tear apart this forest and bring back what it took from me.
Wake me up when it's all over.
Oops, sorry. I hit the button.
I see it in you. You're not the kind to give up.
Whoa. Epic.
yeah.
I'm gonna
How
stick a
is
snake
that?
in your face.
How is that? I mean, that was stop
How?
motion. But
Yes.
how do you do that with all the birds? You know,
The
there's 50
expressions?
birds.
Like,
That
what?
the amount of effort and planning to do that and make it look that good.
I know, that was incredible.
Yeah. It is a time consuming process, but it also involves a lot of research into how things, expressions and micro expressions. And, I think what they do is they film people.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably film it first and then
Yeah.
recreate the film. Yeah, it'd be
Because
interesting
there's
to see it behind the scenes for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's nuances to the way people do things. And if it's not right, it looks wrong,
Right.
and even if it's a little thing, it looks, it doesn't read truthful to your subconscious. They call that the uncanny valley. There's a lot of animated films, earlier films that use CGI, where they tried really hard. Yeah, that's the classic one. Or that Beowulf movie and
Beowulf, the Zemeckis stuff.
Yeah, the technology was not ready yet,
Yeah.
But then there's things that do work, there are some living creatures that have been generated by animation, and that's a hard thing to do with human-like characters, especially because we all know what humans look like. Ray Harryhausen was animating cyclopses and dragons and fighting skeletons, which we don't encounter every day, so we kind of accept that maybe that's what they look like. I don't know. And but with humans, it's like even cartoon stylized humans, we know what they look like and what they act like.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that looked really amazing and unbelievable. Like, I have no idea how they did this, but it had a lot of emotion. Like, I think that too. I think sometimes animation can just kind of be a little, I mean, it's for kids, so it's a little juvenile. It doesn't go very deep, but I think that's what kind of sets some of the stuff apart, like Toy Story, where it has like an emotional core.
Yes.
And like this one had looked very emotional. Looks like even a death in it of a child, which is like, whoa. But that was really interesting too, just to see how people were handling the grief, how there's like that woman looking for revenge. So she turns and she's supposed to take apart the forest because of what it took. And just fascinating, like how they can make that animated characters be so like emotional and make you feel something. Like I was getting all chills and getting really sad. Part of it's a song. But
yeah, the song is
song.
Music adds a lot. Yeah,
it's a lot, but still, it was like they were very expressive. Like you knew exactly where you were in the emotional space of that. So I don't know, that looked amazing.
And that's just
that on the big screen.
I was going to say big screen and a full movie versus small screen and a 2.5 minute trailer. I mean, you can imagine.
What are you saying, Mark?
No, I just love that first shot of the truck going up the road there, going around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. I can just look at that stuff all day. Yeah,
so good.
Well, part of the appeal to me, I think that I've always enjoyed about things that were done with models. I've always loved miniatures and models. I always built models when I was a kid. I always put things together. I always liked to make things and make my own toys when I was a kid and all that kind of stuff. And I did props out here in Hollywood for decades. And that's one of the things that I enjoyed about it was building miniatures and building models. And that's the thing. A lot of times when you're a kid and you're playing with your toys, you're playing with miniature version of reality. And I think stop motion films like this kind of address that.
Mm-hmm.
And shows there's a bunch of shows in the 60s that I really liked, produced by Jerry Anderson, that were like Thunderbirds and Stingray and Captain Scarlet. Look those up, they're incredible. And those were done with puppets. And
that's true.
It's not stop motion. It was literally, marionette puppets. But they're like science fiction stories. And to me, what it was that's how kids play with their toys. It's like that was me playing with my spaceships and my toys when I was a kid. And I think that's kind of the aspect of childhood that you get from films like this, and how it could only really work. Maybe this story could only would work best if it's done with physical props and things, actual substantive models and things that are moving, that you can sense it in your subconscious that these are real 3-dimensional things, are not generated.
Yeah,
right.
Speaking of
looks great.
not a 3D. We have some posters.
Ah,
That little scene of the forest. We
nice.
have the warmth at the top, the coolness at the bottom. I did love that, the great shot of the blue hues of her coming out of the like across the bridge or something or through a path, and there's all the the crows flying around. That's beautiful.
Lighting is great.
Yeah, it's really nice. And we have this one.
That's pretty.
Nice.
Really pretty, like really nice, simple white background. I love when they can get a nice white, almost cream with a touch of gray.
Yeah.
And then give a little montage so it feels more real, like feels like an actual like humans in this one. I love that. And her coming apart with the birds is really, really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then we just had this little poster from the teaser trailer, it's just them walking in the woods. It's very idyllic and cute. So that was kind of cute. That was from the teaser. So yeah, beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
October 23rd.
Yep.
Right
Laika Studios has a certain really excellent quality. It's that you're going to get something high quality.
And it looks like it. So definitely looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. Okay.
Bye.
See you at
Looks
the
great.
theater. Bye.
Bye, everybody.